Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Play versus Fall 2023 Mountain Regional Championship. My name is Moose. I'm joined here today with the one and only Shredder Shades. Shredder, how you doing today,
Hey,
sir?
I'm doing good, doing great. I'm glad to be here. Happy to finally be here for some card games, the best games.
Card games, best games,
Yes.
absolutely. Some say PC Master Race, but it's actually card games are the heart of
Yeah,
all gaming.
you play them from the heart, so naturally it's at the heart of all games. The tabletop
I
was
love
the original video game. Like, come on. It all started
it.
here.
I love it. I love it. Well, just to keep you guys in the loop, to keep you guys up to date on what's going on, this is the regional finals for the Mountain Division. We have had an exciting season of Hearthstone action, and now two teams remain to make it potentially into the national championship, get some scholarships potentially, and show that they have the best skill, the best teamwork, and obviously the best luck in
Yeah.
these games. Going
No,
to be a ton
heart.
of fun.
It's heart.
Best heart. You're
There's heart. No
absolutely right.
luck. All heart. All heart.
That's our key word today. Our
Yes.
key phrase for today.
The
So we
word
got
of
Luck
the day
Crusade.
is heart.
Got it. I love it. I love it. So we've got Luck Crusades High School versus Regis Jesuit going to be facing off against each other. And Shredder, we've got six different classes, six different decks that are going to be played. And so as we get
Okay.
into this finals match, going to be really important for both these teams to like really start off strong.
Yeah.
What do you think both of these teams need to do in terms of getting off on the right foot? If you were part of the teams, what would you do? Would you go for maybe like your anchor player first, or would you go for somebody that you think is going to be the strongest as we move into these games?
Um, Personally, like, so my biggest thing with card games as it is to fighting games, I'm a big fan of both of those things.
Hmm.
Honestly, because of the way the format works, if someone loses, they can stay on to keep going. Learning from your own mistakes can help a lot. It'll tell you a whole lot about what you're doing wrong, what you're playing wrong. But considering the heart factor in a lot of these games, it's a little harder to like adjust because you're waiting on hand power, you're waiting on things to actually appear that you kind of need to fill your win condition. So honestly, I think coming out harder is a lot better in these games, card games. So like I think you have your best player go out first, really kind
Hmm.
of demoralize, maybe put them in a weird headspace, and then if they've done the other thing and you win, you've already taken out their best player. You get to really kind of sit back, see the action a little bit better than if you are just like at the base having to being forced to play.
You've done your job. You've made it happen.
Yes, doing your job is a big part of team games for sure, especially
Definitely.
mage and shaman. Ooh.
Yeah, so, get a little breakdown of these decks right here. We've got Spell Damage Mage coming in. The
Mm.
objective here is to try to get, those stake oils from the trade salesman. Look for Lady Sif. Sif giving you spell damage based on how many different spell classes you have played. So right now, the mage player is really looking to try to build up a lot of that spell damage. Use that Infinitize the Maxitude, which was a really good draw at the beginning of this game, to get a variety of different spells and keep themselves
Mm.
in a high health pool so that they can get to Sif and then just start to wallop
Okay.
with
Yeah,
big
last long
damage.
enough with enough deck or enough what is it, board control to actually get somewhere.
Mhm.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
I'm
exactly. And
curious
now,
with
go ahead.
sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, no, go ahead. You
I
go ahead.
was, cause I'm curious what the shaman's kind of going for here because I see the Murloc, but I'm
Hmm.
not seeing the Murloc. You know what I mean? Like, what at 4 mana and I'm not 4 crystals. I don't see a Murloc on the board. A
I
little suspect.
A little fishy, you
A
might
little
say.
ooh, a little fishy. See, that's not a Murloc. That's not a totem either.
No,
What are we
it's
doing
not.
here?
But it is the man of the nine frogs coming in. If you
Oh
look at that weapon really
no.
quick, every time that the shaman player goes for an attack, going to make a stronger frog. So right now it's 1-1, fairly easy to be able to manage. But in 2 or 3 rounds, it's going to be a 3-3, 4-4 frog. So
Yeah, and
definitely
with taunt, you
something.
have to deal with it.
Exactly.
You're
Well,
really forcing them. Yeah.
thankfully, though, at this point, the mage player doesn't necessarily need to get
Mm,
the through the front line, right? Because all of
right.
their damage is going to eventually come from spells, but the big damage that the minions are going to be able to pull out, I think, is definitely something that they've got to look at. And you're seeing that they're setting up a little bit more to slow down the game. They dropped the Sanctum to be able to freeze some of that damage and hopefully get them to that point where they can get all of that damage in. They've got a lot of discovery spells coming in available with those discovery of magics. They've still got the infinitize, the maxitude. So just have to wait and see what types of spells they're able to draw in the next couple of rounds.
Yeah, this seems very board control from both people, but I don't know who is gonna. Yeah, because okay, two taunts, but again, I don't know if those numbers are gonna get high enough for the mage can actually start getting the move. Because there's that freeze an enemy, discover. Oh, I love discovery. It's like I'm back in Yu-Gi-Oh all over again. I get to search my deck for whatever I want. Ah,
And you get to also decide what type
yeah.
of deck and what type of, I guess, response you want to have for the deck that you're going up against. And so I'm really liking what the mage player is trying to go for. I think they're going to be looking to go for some clear to get those volatile skeletons, but getting that Golganeth for the shaman player is going to be pretty big. Using those roaring oceans to get a little bit of health back and then completely clear out the board. Really nicely done.
Good job. Good 4 imps. they came out. They showed out. They tried. They did their best. Yeah, that's rough. That was really good positioning from the shaman to say, that's nice play, and then just wiped out. That's some really good board control. But 7, we're actually close to 10, so we're really close to the. And I'm seeing a lot of low cost there. I'm imagining we're gonna see a lot of spells real fast, but there's no spell counter on the character itself. Is there? Like, how do they know how much more damage they're doing per spell?
So right now I think the mage player is really looking for Sif, right? Once you find Sif, you get that extra spell damage. It's going to tell you on the card how much more damage each spell is going to do. So maybe looking to see if they can search that, or maybe just looking to be able to control the board a little bit more. You see they're picking up a little bit more clear with the star power. They've also got the Molten Rune coming in because the shaman player has a second Golganeth, a second Titan with those huge impactful abilities waiting in the wings. They used that gold storage last round. They still have the Staff of the Nine Frog, which is going to be a 3/3 frog next round. So I'm a little concerned from the mage player. They've got to start picking it up because the shaman player is putting in huge cards right now, getting the Kraken coming out.
Wait a second. Hold on. I really like. Okay. Pulling back the curtain. I'm not the most. I don't know every card in the game. I really like that the card art extends through each piece of it. That's really cool. Oh, he's procking the death rattles though.
Yeah,
that's gotta be calculated.
Journey to the Sunken City. Yeah, just trying to be able to clear the board. And I gotta say, things are not looking good for the mage player. Well, they're gonna have to use those click clear to potentially get out the colossal, but things are not. Things are definitely rough.
The real thing I ask at a certain point is like the shaman kind of. Is Sif is as meta as it sounds like it is. I'm assuming the shaman's like they probably have that. Do they want to be death rattling creatures on the board that have card draw and discoverability? That seems like it seems like they're helping out the other person at a certain point.
Well, I mean, at this point, the only death rattles that the mage is going to have is going to be those volatile skeletons, which are going to deal just 2 damage to a certain minion. The thing that we think we really want to be looking out for is for the mage player when they're going to be able to start pulling the trigger, and they might actually have to start taking some of their clear now because they're running out of options to be able to freeze that Golganeth and to get a little bit more on track.
This shaman's real close to lethal.
I think so as well.
There are a couple. There's just a couple. Oh, first totem. All right, we got a shaman player. We got a real one out here.
A totem's coming out. A totem's coming out.
Totem at mana 8. Let's go.
I love it. I love it. Now, I will say that now the mage is definitely going to be in kill range in next round or at 10 mana with that Alistor. When they're able to drop that 14 damage with that 10 mana thirst. So you're seeing them, I think, really starting to panic here. I
Yeah.
wouldn't say panic, but definitely worried that they're
Worry,
not going
yeah.
to be able to get to a point where they can use those snake oils, where they can use that big damage. And so I think if they don't find something in that next round, that it's going to be GG for the Shaman player, and LCHS is going to have the advantage moving into round two.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, they both seem like they have really strong decks. I never saw it's just when your win condition is a single card in a deck of 30, it's a little hard to search for everything. But I'm glad that okay, they got rid of that one, so it's 10. So not lethal yet, but it's pretty close. Okay, no mana thirst, so just 2 damage. Just get rid of that. Take a little bit more control of the board. No
Yeah,
mana
gonna
thirst,
have
though.
gonna have the mana thirst on it because they had a total of 8 the mana crystals. So
Mm,
good at least being able to have that. The sad part about that though is that they lost one of those arcane bolts, which gives them that big spell damage, which could have potentially given them lethal. Unfortunately, not going to be able to use it for lethal, more using it to control the board.
yeah.
But definitely going to be, I think, decided here in this next round. I think we're in the penultimate turn of this
Ooh,
round.
that's a big frog. That frog is huge. 5/5, and it just off a swing is really good. Because if you get that early, you just hit every turn. Though I like how they haven't used it every turn. I kind of like that they're like, I don't need it. I'd rather save this because this is a free action. It's basically a free action when you put a weapon on your hero. And then 4, 5, 9. Okay, throw it in the middle. Got rid of that, but that seems kind of worth it. 16
Yeah.
health. I just looked at it. Oh my gosh.
Big boy, a
That's
big
a-
boy for sure.
That's a thing.
Yep, and unfortunately, and for Regis, they are fishing for anything that's going to be able to keep them alive. They went for the ice barrier to give them a little bit more protection. That's going to be 8 armor, so they won't potentially be in lethal. They're still looking for
Yeah.
that Sif to be able to get
I
that
can't
damage
believe
in.
they haven't gotten it yet.
And at this point, it's just trying to be able to survive as long as possible.
That timer. I do like
Yep.
that they did force that two card draw, because if they didn't get it, all they've done is kind of if the shaman player needed one of those 2 cards, they don't get to play it next turn. So there's a little hand control there, but it doesn't seem like it's gonna be just enough to stop them though. The 1/1, yeah. 'Cause that's a pretty good hand that he's got there, minus the 2 that they can't even play.
Right. And did lose a little bit of those cards as well, but Brontosaurus is going to come out. That's going to clear out the
Board clear.
minions that are on the board. Volcanomancy next turn might give the mage player 1 extra round to be able to get that big card draw, but Shaman is just really in control of this board right now. That Golganeth, landing that Golganeth when they did was pretty impactful there. And then from that point on, just being able to control the board and then also being able to just stay on pace with the mage is gonna, I think, give them the advantage here. But Ice Barrier is gonna get procced, and that's gonna be about it for them this turn. But we'll have to see if they can clean it up next turn.
Good survival. That's good. Good secret when it happened. Really lucky. Really artful.
I love it. I love it. The Zinjari teacher getting the Bloodlust over to the 719 now. That's a pretty big boy, if you ask me.
And you gotta work through it. You have to. You now have to deal with a 5/2 and a 6/6. Well, unless maybe the spell damage is high enough to just hit above it. But at the same, I don't. With the heart I'm seeing from the mage player, I don't know how I feel right now about it.
Did not get the Yu-Gi-Oh last turn buff
No.
this game,
My
unfortunately.
grandpa has no weak cards.
Grandpa has no weak cards, but just didn't pick the strong cards that they needed at the right
Doesn't
time.
even know how to build a deck.
No, not at the moment. But
No.
there is potentially still hope. They have another ice barrier. They have the heat wave to get a little bit more clear. They've got those volcanomancies on the toad, so they might have 1 more turn. But I think that they are now looking to see whether or not they can hold off using that heat wave, use that void scripture instead. And they did not. They got the solid alibi. That's actually big
Yeah.
but they're gonna go with the crowd preservation
Better
instead.
freeze, yeah. It's just that's the cost of that to go from 5 to 3. Not really see kind of what you need. Ooh.
Yeah,
You know
Darren.
what? I don't know what I'm talking about. I apologize. Sure. You know what? Mage just got it for sure. That was a real good turn of play there.
Oh,
All right,
you're
man.
back on. You're back on Mage. No, unfortunately, the Alistair's gonna come out, and that will be GG.
Oh yeah. I thought they lived for a second. Oh, they did it. Oh no, never mind. Sorry. Gosh, that's rough.
Good.
And he has so many cards in hand to do stuff with. It's such a shame it didn't work out.
Yeah, unfortunately, just didn't get the control that they were
Yeah.
looking for. Yeah, they got the Infinitize the Maxitude at the very beginning of the round, but I think getting that Golganeth when the Shaman player did, when LCHS was able to get it, being able to get the Staff of the Nine Frogs so early, didn't even have to get to the big frogs.
Yeah.
Had it like I think the 6/6 frog was the last one
Yeah.
that came out. It just goes to show how much control LCHS had in the mid game, and unfortunately, just not getting the right cards for Regis. Gonna have them fall short in game one, but I think
The real
definitely very close. And I'm curious to see whether or not they stay on
Yeah.
the hot seat for game two.
That's the thing because I remember doing this last time, and
Hmm.
this was a thing where one player, the first player who lost and stayed on, ended up losing again, which then kind of like that's two of your whole team's lives right there. It's like, do you take the ego hit and say, I'm gonna hold the L, I'm gonna get off, I'm gonna let someone who's not hot get on, maybe play a little bit calmer, see what they did. Though the issue is like, what if it's a good matchup for Mage next one, and they
Hmm.
get off because they're like, I'm gonna think about the team, I'm gonna get off, I'm gonna let my teammate get on, and then it's, oh, this would have been a great matchup, but you're never gonna know. And
You're
is
never
Sif
gonna know.
the big thing with, because they never saw the Sif? Is that a one card per deck, or is that just two?
It it's just a one. It's a one.
Okay,
It's a legendary one
sounds
card
like
per
it.
deck,
Yeah,
and unfortunately, in that mage deck, unable to really search for it in the deck. So you really had to have a little bit of luck to be able to draw for it.
heart.
But a little bit of heart. You're absolutely
Sorry.
right. Speaking of heart, though, and speaking of a lot of that enthusiasm that I think we're getting in from these
Hmm.
players, and especially from me, if you guys are ready to get into the action, enrollment for the spring 2024 season is now open and it is free to compete. Discover the opportunities that Play Versus offers and get all the details on the upcoming spring season at playversus.com. That is playvs.com. Don't just watch, play. A little bit more specific. If you guys are a high schooler and have the best high school decks, Play Versus has got you covered. You can be part of the spring 2024 season. When you enroll with the Play versus Hearthstone League, you'll receive access to a Battle.net account preloaded with over 2,000 card packs. That's a lot of card packs, holy moly.
Oh, that
With
sounds so
Play
nice.
versus free to compete, it's easier than ever to compete in Hearthstone through Play versus. Sign up for the Spring 24 season today and bring your Hearthstone skills to the next level. I can't believe it. 2,000 card
2,000.
packs?
Oh my
That's
god.
insane.
That's a good way to go. That's so many cards. And I
Uh,
imagine they're probably from more recent seasons as well, so there's probably some really good stuff in there.
Yeah, I'm sure that it's probably going to be from the Year of the Wolf packs and the recent expansions, but it could be wild
Hmm.
packs as well. I
Okay,
don't
yeah.
know exactly for sure because it's been over a decade since I was in high
Oh,
school, so I definitely am not eligible to participate.
no, that's a shame. Time to go make a Smurf account to go get 2,000 free cards.
Yep,
And,
that's what I'm gonna do.
and it
That's
seems
what
like we're coming in. They're at turn 4 or 5. I think the Druid. Yeah, he's been playing. He's been playing some mana, yeah, crystal cards. He's at 8 already.
Yeah.
While, our character on the bottom here is only 4. That's kind of huge. That's a really big deficit so far for early game. He needs to play
I
a lot more.
I would say that that is a problem. especially
Yeah.
with Reno Druid. You know, you try to be able to get those really strong gain and empty mana crystal cards. And I see the wild growth was there. I see that they also found the nourish with the forged choose one effect. So not only did he get an extra 2 mana crystals, but I also believe he got 2 extra card draw as well. Now, the priest in this situation isn't necessarily out of it. They are also
No.
playing Reno Priest, and they've got a lot of really strong late game cards at their disposal. And picking up that Reno when they did is going to give them clear. So not only do they have Amantul, which is going to be able to clear some of those big minions that the Druid is going to be able to put in, like that Fae of the Setting Sun, or even the Restraza when it comes out, but they've also got Reno as well. So I think that so far, you know, Regis is, I think, on the back burner, but they're not out of it. I'm fairly confident they're going to give LCHS a run for their money here in game 2.
No, it sounds like their hand is really good for late game, and while the Druid has kind of already built themselves to be in late game, they haven't found the draws to do it, and they haven't had. Yeah, it just seems like they just haven't had the draws to actually play with those 9. Even if you're far ahead, it doesn't really matter if you don't have the cards you need. Whereas it's actually the opposite problem. What it looks like for the Priest, they have what they need, they just can't play it yet, and they gotta look at it and say, "Oh man, this guy's over here playing everything. I don't get to play nothing yet." But at the same, he's already come back. Like he was down for 30 to what 20? No, he was at like 20, and then he got all the way back up to 30 in one turn. That's about as good as it's gonna get.
The power of life steal, baby.
Yeah,
Power
oh,
of
I love
life steal. It's so fun.
Discover
so fun.
from deck. That's good. Thin the deck.
Yeah,
I
that's
appreciate that.
Affinity Death actually might be a good play here. If you see in the hand that that Regis does have the Rivendare War Rider available. If you're not familiar with how Rivendare works, if you play Rivendare, you get the other 3 horsemen in the deck. If you play the other 3 horsemen and they die, you automatically win the game. So trying to be able to get those figured out, but instead, not only did he get the ANR, which is a huge Titan, he's going to potentially get the Dredge, which also is going to allow him to potentially get those 4 horsemen later on in the game. I'm feeling fairly confident about Regis here in game 2.
They're coming it back real quick too. That's good heart.
That's good heart right there.
They can't play anything yet though. That's the shame of it. Oh wow, there it is. I think the Druid has the same idea. It's like, oh, you're gonna play. Oh, you got that? Oh, me too. No biggie.
Well, and that's real ironic or real interesting that ANR was available for La Crusades here in this battle in this round because they are able to drop it. They refresh their mana crystals. They've now set up their board, and they've set up their board before Reno is available. They do have some clear with the Amantul, which I do expect them to play. If not that, then the resonating top, the 6-cost card that they have. Could also potentially go with the Reno with the coin. So still, Priest has a lot of options, but they're gonna have to clear out what is on the board right now for La Crusades.
Yeah, I feel like they're gonna be really hard pressed to actually clear all of that, because you have to start with that 5 and then kind of work your way down in some pattern here. Luckily, nothing seems to really have death rattle, so there doesn't seem to be a huge. It's like, okay, I get to kind of take out whatever I want after the 5. But the 5 seems like a really difficult thing to actually get rid of.
Gonna go
As
with
I say that, two of the problems go away. This worked out.
Gonna go with the Serenity. Gonna get the health back using the Cannibalize.
Wow.
So nicely done for Regis to be able to hold on to both Amantul and Reno here and take away some of those big items. The Runic Great Makes is gonna come out from Ignis. So gonna get a lot of armor there. Not only does he get 2 hits of 5 on there, but he's also going to get 8 armor per shot. That is 47 health for the Druid right now. Pretty impressive
so
stuff.
much work. They really, if Priest ends up winning, like the amount of work they had to do to win here is respectable if anything. Oh man, and they have so many cards they can play now, but it's all about the order here. It's like, what do we shoot for? How do we get through this? What's the best thing for me right now? Let's see, discover, destroy, and destroy. I don't know.
Gracious
That too.
Protocol.
Okay, yeah, Discover. That makes sense. I feel like yeah, thinning that deck for the lower cost stuff to actually get to play seems like a good idea right now.
Yeah, it's all setting up for a potential Rivendare win. Um, Trying to be able to get some health back as well. Has the Blackwater Behemoth to get some lifesteal. Going to be able to force these lower health minions to attack him. So going to be back up to at least 23 health after this round with the Angler. So gonna be able to get back to 23 just
Nice.
like that. Very nicely done. And on top of that, also has the Love Everlasting still available, which reduces the cost of the first spell that they play. Unfortunately, Yogg-Saron is going to put a big wrench in that, going to steal away the Blackwater Behemoth.
Come on, man.
Really good response.
He's out here working so hard. He's doing triple shifts. Why you gotta take his card like that? You just wanna play Hearthstone. Why does he get to play? It's like I'm watching Yu-Gi-Oh all over again. Oh no.
Unfortunate. Unfortunate.
33 armor.
Amantul is still available. He's also got ANR now, which could bring him back to full HP. So still has a lot of ways to be able to clear the board. But it's rough that Yogg-Saron was used so well in that last round for Las Cruces. Just once again, I think La Cruce is playing just a slightly better game. But I think that Regis here in game 2 with this priest deck still has a lot of tricks up their sleeve. We got to keep an eye on that.
Yeah, they haven't even gotten to play, other than that 7, they haven't gotten to play anything major so far. It's mostly just been them surviving up to this point. And I mean, still to do so is still like, you gotta respect it. But then how do we get past, how do you get rid of those two things so, they seem like so much problems. Those two. You get the lifesteal. And I imagine, I apologize, I'm still a little unfamiliar. The three, okay, bye everybody. The 3 circles that were underneath that crack in there, was that how many times it could take your card?
So
Are those like proccable abilities?
yeah, each of the Titans have 3 different abilities. Yogg-Saron, the one that you saw used right now, was take control of an enemy minion. He has 2 other abilities, but they're not as good as the one to take control of an enemy minion.
Got it.
Yeah. Not gonna quite be it, but it's definitely going to once again put Regis on the back burner.
Yeah,
ANR is available to bring them back to full HP, which is exactly what they are going to do. Great card draw there.
Running it back.
Pretty much. But this time it's Reno now. But look at that health restore, 26 HP restored, and I think very happy that they got the perfect card from La Cruces' deck. They're now also going to potentially get their own Yogg-Saron.
Let's go.
I don't know if they go for it though. ETC might just be the better play here, but I think Yogg-Saron is going to be what they go for.
It seems like they have so many high cost cards already. You don't want your next turn to be, oh, never mind. It's only going to be that. All right, got it. I apologize.
Not only do they get one Yogg-Saron, but because they forged the card, they get a second one. That's really cool.
And that was unfortunate for the Druid. They just lost on the draw. Their hand was full, so they just actually lost a card just completely. I don't know how important it was. It seems like their hand's already kind of stacked as it is. I don't know if they needed that, but never feels good to draw and then just have to put it away immediately.
And that's what's, I think, concerning though. Druid does have a saving grace because the Restraza was just spawned. It's going to give them a new dragon to play every single turn, so they're going to have infinite play potential here. Right. But the win conditions for Regis, I think, are definitely starting to stack up. They've still got that clear with the Amantul when they decide to bring it out. Baron Rivendare is now potentially a playable option here because they are, I think, a little bit more in control of this game, and that's the power of the Priest deck. If you can get past the really awkward early stages of the game, you are pretty difficult to be able to manage here. And the longer that this game goes on, the more powerful Regis becomes. And I think that this is a big turning point here. They know it. They're going to start taking a lot of that control. And this is, I think, where the game
Time.
starts to go into Regis' favor.
Definitely time for the big push, it looks like. Yep. Oh, yep, force the death rattle. I like that. Put the 3 into the deck. Yeah, they gotta start making plays at this point. Quickly, look at the rope.
And, and and I think what's interesting here is that it doesn't even if all 4 horsemen end up getting played and killed, it doesn't matter how much armor you have. You just automatically lose the game anyways. So
Copy that Titan. She got another one. We're gonna.
she got some big dragons there. She got Ysira available, 5 cost as well. So
I feel like we've seen this game end like 5 times. And the priest is like, no, I want to keep going. I get to play. This is my game.
Stay alert.
oh, you're absolutely right. Got a second Anar to
Yeah,
get back up to full HP again.
At the last second of the rope, they had to forge something that's on the field, and they just went got
Nice.
it immediately. And they
Love
can
it.
Play it again.
Love it.
If
Love
they
it.
don't lose in 1 turn, they get to just get health back.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's a lot of taunt though.
A lot of taunt, but they have the Yogg-Saron that is available. One of the other abilities that Yogg-Saron has is you could force every other minion to attack another minion. I don't think that that's necessarily needed for this particular round, but it is available. They've got the options to be able to do it. Anar could also give them a little bit more, I guess, power on the board by picking up an extra one of those 5/5 ancients here this round. So still a lot of options available for the priest player, and I think that that's what gives them the edge moving forward. But it's all about the execution here. There is still chances that things are going to be in trouble for them, but again, like I said, every round, the priest player gets stronger and stronger. The second of the 4 horsemen was now spawned, and I think we're looking potentially for a 4 horseman finish here in this second round of this
That thing
championship.
seems like kind of like a that's the last one you want to play because of the death rattle. If all of the other ones have gone out, you get them back, basically.
Yeah.
That's. Oh, never. I apologize. It goes out immediately. Just buff it. Oh.
Well, just wants to get rid of it. Wants to make it easier for them to be able to get the other 2 horsemen. Their deck is looking fairly small. I mean, that's what they're looking for right now, right? Is they are looking to end the game with the 4 horsemen, and now you're halfway getting into that win condition. Like I said, does not matter how much armor you have, does not matter how much health you have. If you kill all 4 horsemen, you win the game. And
I didn't know that. That's wild. That is a really interesting win condition.
Yep, that's exactly what they're going for here.
So like those 4 horsemen can just be like a backup win condition to your main one, right? If
Pretty
you play
much.
it right? Wow.
Pretty much. But I think that that's what they're going for here in this round. I think that that's what they're trying to make happen.
Because working through 81 health doesn't seem reasonable.
You'll get there eventually. You'll get there
That's
eventually.
really grindy. It's like, you know what, just bring out the horsemen. Let's cut through this.
Are we able to take a look to see how many cards are in each deck? If we could just get a scroll over to the deck really quick. 11 cards left in the deck compared to 8. So
is this a Yu-Gi-Oh rule where if you're out of decks, or if you're out of cards when you draw, you lose?
You take fatigue damage. So you start running out of you're gonna start running out of health because every turn you take exponential more damage. But right now, not really that big of an issue because you've got the moment, the Druid, now the second Reno. Las Cruces does have 86 effective health right now, so going to be fine for the time being.
And I just realized his board.
His board is gone. That's the power of that's the power of Reno. If you have no duplicates in your deck, you get the ability to completely remove all minions on your opponent's side, and that's exactly what happened there.
If you have no duplicates, interesting. I bet there's a lot of really good single cards too. Oh wow, 30. Yeah, that seems reasonable.
Yeah.
It's like a lifesteal. The more you lifesteal, the lower it costs, right? That one.
For the 30/30 card, it was the cost of the card is equal to how many cards you have in the deck. So it's really good for something like Warlock, for example, and things like that. But instead, gonna go with the Spirit of the Badlands. Gonna be another card that's going to give them the ability to be even more infinite. So as I stated again, the game is just looking much better for Regis now. and
Oh.
running out of options. Les Cruces is here in game 2.
What are you gonna swing on? Which one? What are you gonna do? You gonna deal with all of them? At some
Well,
point.
Well, let me show you. Let me give you. Let me show you Yogg Saron next round.
Oh,
Just
maybe.
being able
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
have force each minion to attack other minions. Gonna make that happen. There's the third of the 4 horsemen
Ooh.
coming available.
How many have
So
gone down?
2.
Two?
2 out of the 4. Yep.
2 out of 4. Wow. Oh, but now it's really tempting. It's like I kind of want to get rid of those horsemen, but at the same time, it's like that board looks real nasty. Yep.
Yep. And
oh, they thought about it.
what's great about the priest
Go
deck
watch
right
the
now.
stream.
What's great about the priest deck right now is that they're on no time crunch. They're on no time crunch to make that happen because there's no way for Les Cruces to finish the job. So just gonna use one of the Yogg Sarons here, force each enemy minion to attack each other, kill everything on the board, and continue to make the play that they need. There it is.
Oh, bye.
You're complete.
Nice taunt. You seen this thing? Taunt yourself. All right, that's basically what it is. You did another one? No, okay, never mind. That other one just moved to the end. I was about to say, if there was a third one that showed up, I don't know how it'd feel.
Fun fact: there is a third one.
What?
That is his third one. You can see he has the one
Oh
Yogg
my
Saron
gosh,
on the
it
far
is.
right.
I thought it
It
just
is-
moved to the end.
Nope.
Oh my gosh, he has so much board clear. Whatever they want. And yeah, because it's max mana now. They just get to play whenever they want.
Yep.
Oh man.
Maybe the 4 horsemen aren't going to be needed here.
Put them in the stable. We don't need you.
We'll find out very soon whether or not the
Interesting.
druid can do anything. But looking at his hand, looking at his deck, doesn't have a lot of options remaining, and it's going to be so disheartening when the second Yogg Saron comes out for the second turn in a row. It's going to kill all of those dragons once again. I guarantee you that that's what's going to happen here in this next round.
Druid's over here like, oh, I'm working so hard now all of a sudden. What happened? I got 84 health and I feel like I'm losing. I'm using hero abilities that hit for 2. I don't know. I got nothing.
So decided not to go for the second Yogg Saron. Instead, uses Amanthul's second ability to create some more taunt, create some more just defense for themselves while they wait to get their final horseman in the in their hand, and then they can end the game.
Yep.
So a lot of options still available to them, and
Oh,
gonna just clean the scene, destroy everything. Goodbye, everybody.
that wasn't even my second or third Yogg. I just got that. Whatever.
Who needs it?
Yeah, who needs it? I got other cards. They cost less. Man, what are the other 2 abilities we got?
So the first ability, like I said, take control of an enemy minion.
Mm.
Second ability, you can force each enemy minion to attack each other, which is what we saw
Right.
a couple of rounds ago. And then the third ability is you get to fill your hand with these chaotic tendrils, which cast a spell based on how many chaotic tendrils were played. So the first chaotic tendril that you play does a 1-cost spell. Second chaotic tendril you play casts a 2-cost spell, so on and so on. So the longer that you do it, you get stronger things.
3 of them. They could've.
Oh,
They could've. Wow, that's a lot.
that's a lot of
All right.
phases of the setting suns.
Yogg,
That's 3 of them.
Yogg, come out. We
Yogg
got
might-
board clear.
Yogg might need to come out here. Got a couple of other options that
I bet
are
they felt
available.
I bet they felt really good about that play too. They're like, yeah, I got all these really difficult cards out. I did a cool combo. Oh, never mind.
Going to just devour everything.
About the same though. Same feeling.
Pretty much. Pretty much.
Doing all this work.
Yeah. Once again, Priest with the board clear, making it impossible for them to be able to come in. But
Gosh.
La Cruces does have an option to be able to get all of that back. Alexstrasza going to be able to deal 8 damage to that 4/7. If you take a look at that 4/7, if one of them dies, you're able to get those minions back, which is I think what Las Cruces is going to do here to make that happen. And look, they're all back.
Yeah, we're back. Wait, do they still? Okay, do they have rush, or did they count as being out the other turn, so now they get to attack?
They have rush.
Okay, they had rush. Okay. I was
Yeah.
like, that seems interesting.
Whirlpool's gonna come in, destroy all minions on the field and copies of them.
Well, bye.
It's gonna be once again the clear coming out. Goodbye.
Yeah, it'd be really nice if there was a way to get rid of that egg.
No, you can't get rid of that. It would be nice, but you can't get rid of it. You can just continue to just ruin your opponent's dreams as you
Yeah,
continue to make it happen.
Continue to get dragons. Just more taunt. I need more taunt, more everything. I'll pay the cost. It doesn't matter. I got 10 for days.
You do have 10 for days, and you do have a lot of options to be able to get those dragons with the purified dragon nest, but you just don't have that final oomph, that final bit of, damage to be able to finish the job because of just how many options Regis has. And it's also a pretty taxing game as well. I mean, this is a 20-minute game.
It's just they just keep healing and board clearing, and then he hasn't even played the Thor Horseman. I'm losing it. I'm getting tired. The third horseman.
The third horseman. Fourth horseman still needing to come out, getting that ETC to potentially
They're gonna pull
clear.
it for sure at some point. They have to.
Eventually.
They're
running
at
out of
11 cards 15 turns ago.
I love it. I love it.
It has to come out.
Yeah, gonna be down to, I believe, 6 cards at the moment. Also has the ability to go for the Spirit of the Badlands, which creates a permanent Mirage. What the Mirage does is it allows you to make a copy of something in your deck. So you could potentially pull the Mirage, and the Mirage could be that fourth horseman that you're looking for, and then you can end the game there. But you do have to worry about that Fae of the Setting Sun. That lifesteal could potentially be a problem. Could potentially find some issues if you don't clear out the rest of the board, but going to be able to pull out the second Yogg-Saron. Gonna clear the board one more time. This time just taking control of that Fae of the Setting Sun, going back to full HP, and will continue to make things difficult for Las Cruces.
I will say, we did see there was a slight hover over the deck for the priest. They have 4 cards left.
Yep.
So, by luck of the heart, the horseman's the last one.
Luck of the heart.
Luck of the heart.
Horseman's the last one.
Always
That'd be
is.
funny.
Just like
That'd
Exodia.
be funny.
Last card in the deck.
And it is basically an Exodia type ability, right? Because if you play the fourth one, you end up finishing the game. Or if you play that last one, you get the last card out and you kill it, you win the game. And you're just kind of waiting for that to happen. You're just kind of waiting to draw that card. And for Regis here, they actually have a couple of ways to be able to kill their horsemen, because not only do they have to play them, you have to kill them. That's the bottom line there. And they do have the ways to be able to make that happen. But for now, though, I think a final push here for Las Cruces, just trying to be able to stay alive for as long as they can. Maybe we'll find a way to be able to things to come out.
But have you met Yogg?
Have you met Yogg?
Have you met him? You keep playing cards like I don't got another one. Yeah, my deck gimmicks, or this character gimmick is I don't have copies. But what about it? I mean, I got 4 of them.
You still have 4 copies of it.
I do what I want.
He stole 2 copies from your opponent, and you got your own. So I mean, like, I've got all I need. Thank you for bringing it Thank you for bringing it.
Oh, you brought me my lunch today. I appreciate you. Thank you.
Hey man. I remember back when I was in high school, back when telephones were still attached to the to like buildings and things like that. I'm almost 30 years old, and I remember bringing my binder of Yu-Gi-Oh cards to school every now and again. And let me tell you, trying to be able to build those desks, having to protect some of those cards from all the stuff that was getting around, was definitely a challenge. Thankfully, now in the digital age, you don't have to deal with that. You can just hold on to whatever cards you want.
And you get 2,000 free cards for signing up for Play Versus.
Hey, is that a plug?
Oh,
Is that a plug? I can't believe it.
I did the thing.
You did the thing. And you know what else happened? The last of the 4 horsemen are now on deck.
Run it.
Now on deck, Shredder, going to have the third one spawned, going to be able to use the rush ability to be able
to 8-8, by the way.
Get that cleared. Nicely done.
That's a shame. Yeah, that seems like he with the horse going against the horseman deck. It seems really dangerous to actually have high attack stat minions on the field because it's like, oh, I get to just win right now. I got rush. Yeah. Man, that feels rough. All these dragons, all this work.
And it's not gonna matter.
Oh,
It's not gonna matter. He's out of cards.
He's out of cards.
He just, and that's the power of the like. Unfortunately, the Druid deck going up against the Priest deck, really smart, I think, from Regis to go up Priest versus Druid because you have the best chance to beat the Druid deck. Druid deck is saying, hey, I'm big, I'm nasty, I'm extremely difficult to manage, and the Priest deck just says, I'm just better than you in the end game, and that's exactly what I think happened here today. But we'll wait and see how Regis finishes this game. Should be able to do it here in this next round with Zealot, and then the 4-cost card, Shadowward Ruin, that will end the game.
Bye.
GG. Only took 25 minutes.
Oh man, but it's 1-1 now.
It's 1-1. A
1-1.
25-minute game, though.
Man.
Very impressive. Good composure coming in from Las Cruces. Good on them to play the Priest into the Druid, and we have now got a 1-1 series. It means that Druid is still available, as well as the Warrior card for Las Cruces. Regis going to have the their Mage deck and their Paladin deck available. Now, keep in mind, Shredder, that the Mage deck, if we go Mage against Druid, Mage is going to have a tough time battling up against that Druid deck. Maybe just doesn't have the same power that Priest deck has. So it's going to be on both these teams, I think, here in this next round to win this third round, get themselves that advantage. And I think for their sake, give them the best chance of winning that round 4 game, because of game 5, as exciting as that may be, I don't think either one of these teams wants to go there. They really want to win this game 3.
Yeah, they definitely want to. They definitely want to win faster than slower. But I get. Oh, okay. Oh, Paladin Druid. Oh, okay.
Gonna jump into the Paladin Druid, and I think that's the wise. I think that's the wise move here, for Regis, because unfortunately the Mage deck I think is gonna have the toughest time getting through that Druid deck, so you need the Paladin to be able to finish that off.
That's true.
And the Warrior deck, not as threatening to the Mage as the Druid is, because the problem with the Druid deck against the Mage is that the Druid deck can ramp up to that 10 mana really quickly, and that could be the problem.
He started the game at 8.
Pretty much.
We came into the game and he had 8 mana. It was ridiculous. But I feel like I don't don't actually see a whole lot of Paladins in the short. And when I was trying to refresh myself, play some more games, get used to it again, I didn't see a whole lot of Paladin. So I'm kind of curious what's their win condition most of the time? What is he going for?
He is looking to rush down his opponent. He has a lot of very low cost minions. He's got the ability to increase their damage, to increase their attack, Deputation Aura to give them lifesteal. Just looking to be able to beat them down as quickly as possible. And getting those two eggs right now is a pretty good start.
That's really good. Yeah. What's their death rattle?
Summon a 3/3 undead chicken.
Oh, is it all have taunt?
It does not have taunt, no.
Oh, okay. I mean, still 3/3 right off the bat. And you gotta throw it, and you gotta force them to take care of it. That seems like a really good deal, especially at the early game. Okay, yeah. He's like, oh, do I want to force? No, I'm just gonna take the damage. I'm gonna take the damage. I want them to deal with my taunt. I don't want to get rid of my taunt for them. That seems like a bad deal. Yep, take 5.
And that's the power of the rush, right? You want to be able to get them down to as much health as possible, or as low health as possible. And that's exactly what's happening there. You don't need to deal with the minions. You let them take care of your minions so they can just deal that big damage to your opponent.
You force them to not look at your hero, which is probably the 5/7 So I had 5. Wow, he is really, yeah, he's at 10 though. He's already at 10. Oh, there we go.
Yep. Reno's gonna come out. I think he had no choice there.
No,
You know,
absolutely.
had to take care of it right now. But now doesn't have to deal with that big clear that they have. We'll have to see. And that's the big question between Paladin versus Druid is can you clear or can you rush down your opponent before the Druid becomes full online? The fact that we're only on turn 5 or on turn 6 and we've got already 10 mana and Reno on the deck for Las Crusades is pretty good.
That's pretty significant. But at the same time, part of me thinks, okay, hi, how are you doing today? Oh, okay. That's a board and a half. Oh my gosh.
Yep.
It seems like he's just trying to match the Paladins. Like, you want to rush me down? That's perfectly fine. I have this thing. That's lethal already. He actually has to get rid of that now, or it's over.
Has to do it. So he's going to use the Armistice. Armistice going to be able to make the health of each minion to 2, and then he's got the Prismatic Aura to be able to clear out everybody, which is exactly what's going to happen.
Nice. Oh, and now he can't get rid of any. Okay, never mind. I was gonna say he was like, oh, now he can't add any more minions to the board. He's already filled them up, and it's like, oh, but it's all taunt, so you got to get rid of it to actually win the game. Especially with the Paladin. I imagine there are just a lot of face hitting damage as opposed to just like, I don't want to say gimmick win condition, but that's kind of what I want to call the Horseman. I would call Exodia a gimmick. So
It was. I would give you that. It's definitely a gimmick.
Yeah. Yeah, you gotta, it's way more work than Exodia. Trust me, I've been Exodia'd many times in my Yu-Gi-Oh! While playing. The Horseman's way more work, but at the same time, it's a gimmick. You don't gotta like play the game.
Right. And I think unfortunately for Regis here in this in game 3 did not rush down quickly enough. Getting that Reno so early on for Las Crusades was pretty impactful. And I don't know if they have the card draw available to have a response. Does not look like they do. It does not look like they got it. They might have 1 or 2 more turns to be able to stay alive, but there's very little in terms of options for them to be able to keep this going. I'm very concerned for them at this point.
It's really funny because I was going to say earlier when the 2 eggs were out and still kind of doing things, it's like, yeah, you got the Reno out and you board cleared really early, but you board cleared really early. Like, you don't really know what the opponent has to play now that they have more mana. It could be something worse that you had to use the Reno on to actually get rid and continue to play. But it seems like it's worked out. It seems like they didn't have anything in their pocket at the moment. I don't want to say it was a lot of heart, quote unquote heart, but luck seems to have played a lot of this. That Reno seemed like a really good play at the time when I think it wouldn't have been.
Yeah, I think just good composure coming in from Las Crusades, playing the right card at the right time there. It's like taking all of it's like taking your foot off the gas, or like, you know, pumping the brakes on your opponent was the real problem there for Las Crusades, and being able to steal away Armistice, which is arguably your most important card in the late game because it's allowed to be able to keep you safe, was I think a winning move for Las Crusades here, but we'll have to see if they're able to finish the job.
Really big deal. Especially like now that the Yogg is out and all these big legendaries are out, you don't really have anything to respond with to stop him.
Unfortunately, no. And one of so you see those clicks down there at the bottom of Armistice, which is the other Titan that you see on the screen.
Yeah.
Your other minions too. You've now just given your opponent so much power.
Yeah, that's lethal. Next turn.
And you've got few cards to be able to make things happen here on the side of Regis, and they did not draw what they needed. It is going to be GG. For them in game 3.
Oh, that's a shame.
Yeah, La Crusades is going to fall short here. Just did not get the draw power that they needed. Yeah, just didn't get the draw that they needed. So at least going to have a full board on display with the boogie down, getting the taunts out, but not going to make much of a difference here, I'm afraid.
Some good death rattle for card draw, but like, not the health to really matter.
Yeah,
You do have to be
the snake oil's doing absolutely nothing. Yeah, snake oil deals 0 damage, so
that's a shame.
not gonna be able to do anything with it.
It was
And
close.
that'll
It
do
was
it.
surprisingly close, and then it really quickly escalated to not being close.
And that's the power of the paladin deck is if you can get it done really fast,
Mm,
if you can win the game in the first 3-4 rounds by just whopping at your opponent, you're gonna win the game. But if you
yeah,
can't do it and your opponent is able to ramp up like the druid is able to, you're going to be able to put yourself into an advantage. And now Las Cruces 1 game away from winning this regional championship. They have to use their warrior deck here from now on, which
yeah.
I would argue is going to be the most difficult deck for them to be able to complete. But I think that they
Well,
have a really good advantage moving into game 4 to potentially win it 3-1.
yeah. So you think the paladin stays on for the warrior? Or you think he gets off? Because now you know what they're gonna have to use. So now you can kind of.
Hmm.
Does the paladin have the ability to actually fight the warrior well, or are they gonna try to switch it up? Go back to the
I
mage.
I don't know. I think that the mage deck might fare a
Hmm.
little bit better. But the paladin deck is kind of doing what the warrior deck is going to be a lot of taunts, trying to be able to buff up those taunt minions. The warrior deck versus the paladin deck, I just think the warrior deck does what the paladin deck is trying to do a little bit better. So you're
Oh,
playing at a bit of a disadvantage here to start off. So I
warrior
think the
mage.
mage is the right call. And just trying to be able to get to that game 5 point. The problem is though, even if Mage wins this round, even if Mage is able to win game 4, you still have to go Paladin versus Warrior, and you're
Yeah.
putting yourself into a bit of a disadvantageous situation. You're in a disadvantage, I think, moving into that round regardless. But give yourself the best chance to get into game 5. Give yourself the best chance to win the championship, and I think doing that with the Mage is the best play.
Okay, early mana crystal just to get that taunt out, get that death rattle
Mhm.
started early. So what kind of win condition is the warrior kind of looking for? Because we figure it's gonna be Sif for the mage, but like what are we looking for on the warrior? Like what are they trying to pull right now, or not right now,
So
but later?
So the big thing for the warrior deck is they want the hard rock and roll, which increases
That's
which
shaggy.
gives it is it's a Shaggy reference for sure. Um, which gives each minion in your deck uh health and attack based on their cost, which is
Oh,
going to just make the big minions. And then also later on down the line, if you can find it, it is the armadillo. It's an armored armadillo basically, which also increases the power
what?
of those taunt minions.
No.
Uh, yeah, yeah, that's exactly
No
what I said.
way.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
yeah,
That's awesome. So it
it's really cool.
specifically focuses on making your taunt units better. The armadillo.
Yep,
Wow.
yep. So that's what you're looking for here. Unlucky Powderman, the same thing. Give those taunt minions in your hand more
Plus
power.
one.
And if you look at all of the minions
Mhm.
that Las Cruces has, every single one of those minions is taunt. So when those 2/2s on the field die, you're giving each one of those minions 2/2. So basically 10-10. 10 health, 10 damage because of all of that. And it just keeps on getting better and better because because the warrior is getting all that
Well,
power available.
that was make me think, like, because earlier or the round before this one,
Hmm.
he seemed to be thinking about, oh, I'm gonna swing with this 2/2 taunt. And that was before I realized that he buffed all other taunt minions in hand. So I thought it was kind of like what happened to, oh, never mind, he gets, okay, that's plus 2/2 now. That's
Yep.
huge.
Everything got plus 4/4. The
Oh,
Azurite
copy.
Gang going to get a copy of that, so going to just drop that now because those two were taken out. Gonna just continue to keep his health pool as protected as possible. Good thing though for the mage on this hand is they do have a lot of options available. Barrel of Sludge is gonna come out to be able to clear one of those Azurite Chain Gangs. The Heat Wave as well. The Arcane Bolt. So the clear is there right now for Regis.
They
The
definitely
only
had to spend a
problem
lot to
is
do it, though.
exactly. That's
That was a
exactly what I was
lot.
gonna say.
All 5 just to get rid of 2 4/5s.
Hmm.
And, well, No, and they don't have the win condition to buff spells yet, so they had to use a lot just to get rid of stuff. They're definitely just trying to play defensive at this point and force a longer game.
Trying to be able to get to that point. And they've got a lot of discovery available with those void scriptures, with the infinitize the maxitude. So they have those things available. Blast Mage Minor going to be able to clear things out, but it's just, you know, you're not up a creek without a paddle, but you're definitely like
Up a creek
swimming
without a
up.
paddle, got it.
You're swimming upstream.
You're
We'll say that.
yeah, you're fighting the current for sure.
You're fighting the
this-
current.
This seems rough. But
Yeah,
not that rough actually. It's actually kind of even so far. But I'm really waiting for that one big swing. Taunt.
Yeah, once again, giving your taunt minions more health, more attack.
And a lot of those were sitting in there when the other 2/2s went down, when the dynamite things went off. So there's probably some really big minions in there that are higher than a 5 cost.
Yeah, that Dread Corsair, I think I got 2/2 3 times, so that's plus 6/6, and it's already a 3/5, so it's I believe a 9/11 right now. That Ziliax, I think also big damage, going to be able to magnetize to that 5/6 to be able to just get more power. Probably more jellyfish. Deny that. Nice.
It does. It's all right. I can respect it. Is that a single use card that he just pulled or just played? The plus, or was that a two copies in deck?
2 copies in it.
2 copies. Okay, that thing's 2 copies. That seems really. Oh wow, that seems really good for 2 copies.
Precision.
That's a definite in deck. Ooh, 7/6. He's indestructible.
Yep, the 7/6 Divine Shield with that extra life still coming out, so going to be back to 26 HP.
Sorry, did I say indestructible? That's my bad.
Well, I mean, you with Divine Shield, you pretty much are indestructible. So
Well, yeah. I got so many other card game terms in my head, and it's like I'm getting them all kind of mixed up right now. Thinking of Magic, I think.
thinking of Magic. You know, I never got into Magic. I was a Yu-Gi-Oh purist. Never did Magic. Never did Pokemon. And the older that I get, the more I realized I picked the less cool game to play.
That's not How dare you? You're talking to the kids who for Christmas for a long time kept getting Naruto cards. All right, you at least had a card game to play. You ever heard anybody playing Naruto? No,
Nope.
it didn't happen.
But I do have a full leg Naruto tattoo, so I respect the hustle.
Wasn't a hustle. I still have all those cards. You gotta get rid of them. Nobody wants them. They're not worth anything. Unlike Yu-Gi-Oh and Magic cards.
Oh no, that's unfortunate. That's unfortunate.
They're all right. I get to look at them and go, oh yeah, Naruto when it was good.
Oh, Naruto was always good. The
All right,
sequels, not so much.
Let's get back to Hearthstone. I don't want to do this. This is a conversation
Okay.
for not right now.
All right. Back to the game. Warrior cards getting stronger and stronger. The minions are coming out. Alistar is available, which is going to give Lust Crusades a little bit more clear as we move forward. But unfortunately for Regis, it feels like the mage deck has always been behind the 8-ball, has always had their back against the wall. And that is, I think, what happened here in this game. Their back is once again against the wall. They are not out of it, but their back is against the wall.
Is that a secret? I don't know what that condition for that is. Ooh, that's a lot. Yeah, that's an even split. That was even to me. That was a good split, yeah.
Nicely done. It's Blast Mage Minor. Love it.
Minor. That was a major for me.
Ha!
Blood and plunder.
7/7 for that Dread Corsair.
and I don't want to, like, and though to say it, like, even though we did not pay attention a little bit there when we were talking about all that other stuff, I feel like we've just been seeing a lot of the same things, which is not bad, but now, now we're actually getting to the meat of it. We were waiting for this. 3 7s, 3 7 4 taunt, holy divine shield. Yeah, this mage has got. They have to win. They literally have to get rid of it all right now, or they don't win.
They are in trouble. They do have
That's the one way to say they lose, but okay, they don't win.
Yes, they do. The Inquisitive Creation dealing 5 damage right now could, I believe, get it up to 6 with the Flame Geyser when they drop that, but doesn't have the complete clear to be able to finish the job. Um,
Hey,
Yep,
now the plays are coming out.
Inquisitor creation was 100% needed there in order to clear everything out. Really nicely done from Regis to be able to make that happen. Now, if he can stay in a good position moving into next round, he's got the Azerite Hawk. Azerite Hawk going to allow them to play one of those super big, very strong Titans for free practically. So let's see if they're going to be able to get a good one when they do decide to play it. But I think La Crusade is looking to go for the win here, looking to punch that out now. See if they are able to make that happen.
Drawing.
Well, they get to draw 5 cards. That's the power of
fair.
That's the power of his
One.
power of his ability.
You get one.
Blood.
If you did not
Cost 0.
If you did not see, though, La Crusades did pull the Armadillo, which is going to increase the attack and health of each taunt minion in their hand by 2/2 for each turn. So next turn, going to have even more power available to them. But for now, they're looking pretty good.
Yeah, that was good. Oh my gosh, but there's so many cards here, and they're all really low cost. But at the same time, no Sif.
Yeah, didn't get the Sif
No.
once again.
No heart.
I don't know if the Sif would have made a big difference here. I think you're looking for the Azerite Hawk to be big
Be your carry
for
here.
them. Let's see what Titan they're able to get. Did they get anything good? They got Agrimar, not the best, not terrible. Going to be able to get a little bit of clear out of that with the Swift Slash. But you were definitely looking for something like the Sargeras. You were looking for maybe a Golganeth. You were looking for a Yogg-Saron. Agrimar is mid-tier, but it works.
Oh, really?
It works. It's at least something, and it's going to keep you alive for another round.
Seems like it'd be good for something like the warrior or the paladin, who's actually like, I want to swing. It doesn't seem like it'd be bad for them, but for a mage, it's like, cool. Thank you for this great sword. That's really not what I wanted.
And I guess the cool thing about Agrimar is that you do get the abilities increase the power of the weapon that he gives you. So the one that he was the tick that he used in that last round was you're able to be immune while attacking. So he didn't take any damage when he made that board clear. So really nicely done there.
Good trade, for sure. What do the other two do?
The other two, you spawn a minion whenever you attack, and then you draw a card whenever you attack. So in effect, your weapon gets stronger each turn, but you only get to use that effect once or twice because you're using the weapon. You're losing that durability.
Yeah, that seems like a really good. That seems really good for like Demon Hunter, who's always kind of putting on a weapon or doing something.
Yeah, or attacking, you know,
Yeah.
or
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
that wants to attack or things like that. There's the Armadillo coming out. Gonna increase the power of all taunt minions in their hand by 2/2 for each turn that is on the field. So gotta clear that out, but things are now looking pretty grim for Regis here. They need to find something big in this next turn. We'll see if they're able to get it.
Kind of surprised he went for base damage on the swing. I kind of thought he would have hit, because he could have cleared out that. I apologize. The minion to the left of the Titan. I thought he would have cleared that out, just to give them less options.
Didn't really need to.
Yeah.
Like, how are you gonna be like what kind of threat is that going to be? But got probably the best card that he could have gotten with the
Good heart.
Void Strictured. So got some good heart there.
Definitely good heart.
Yeah,
Wow.
pretty good. Indeed. I would say top tier heart right
Top
there.
tier,
Might,
absolutely top tier heart.
might have actually saved him the game.
Yeah, because now, those two 4/5s are not going to get buffed at all. And you just got more jellyfish to deal with.
Good jellyfish. Love it.
Some good mana wars. I think it's probably more accurate. They're probably not jellyfish. What are they looking for here?
I think looking for damage, looking for spells, looking for things to be able to stay alive, because the concern that Regis has right now is that they're down to 12 health and they have no way of being able to get that health back. So you gotta be careful if in any way Regis or Las Cruces is able to get through those taunts and finish the game, they're gonna have lethal, and that's the concern.
Yeah, now they're thinking about it. They're definitely like, oh man, that really put a damper in my plans. I see
Yeah.
that other Alistair there.
Mhm.
I don't know if that's Aaron.
Nope, you
Oh,
said it correctly.
okay.
Uh,
I don't see that much being as big a help as you would think.
well, if you are able to drop it and your opponent has no minions on the field,
Mm.
Alistar deals 14 damage to the
Oh,
face.
you're right.
You win
Yep.
the game.
Yeah, if you play it
So,
as a 8, right? As a Mana Thirst?
if you play it as a
Yeah.
mana, there's 10. 14 damage is pretty big. So,
They win.
and for Regis, Regis does know that Lust Crusades does have that at their disposal, so they've got to think that that could potentially be a problem.
Yeah.
The responses that I see here, the Requiliary Researcher does give you secrets, so you could potentially find an objection
Oh,
to keep you alive for one more turn, which I think is what they're going to do here, which is 100%.
that's a lot of
Be what
secrets.
they're played. Going to give those 3 secrets. Did they get the objection, though? I do not know. Still, again, did not find Lady Sif, or did not find Sif to get that big damage. You can see they're holding on to
Yeah.
the Flame Geyser. They're playing on to the Arcane Bolt, but just unfortunately unable to find it. It's so heartbreaking. Because I
Really
feel
rough. Two
I feel
games.
their pain. I
Two
feel
games.
their pain.
Man, 2 whole games they didn't get to. They're like, I want to give me money. Oh, yeah, just play them now. You got to kind of go for the whole thing.
You
this
got to try to
point.
find something. You got to try to find things.
Quickly before the turn ends.
Should have time. Should have time to click it.
Yep.
Yep.
Just enough, but not enough to play
Well,
anything.
He used all his mana, so he's good.
Yes.
He's good.
Yes. No leftover mana. But is the warrior gonna go for it? Are they just gonna plop the Alistair down and try to just win it?
I
No, they
don't
gotta-
know what secrets they have. If the Requiliary Researcher dropped an objection and you drop that Alistair, you might just lose the game right there. So he's definitely concerned
Ooh.
that potentially could have happened. Get to see if that is the case.
Oh.
It was. So
Oh.
going to be able to hold on to that Alistair for 1 turn. Now, no way for them to be able to clear that. Ziliax will come in.
Oh,
That
jeez.
might actually end the game right there. If they do not have an ice barrier, do they not have an ice barrier? They do not, and
That's
that will
such a
do it.
shame. That
Last
was such a good
Crusades will
play.
win. Wow, I loved that. Good
I would've-
control.
Good. Yeah, I would have personally. So quickly that Alistair would have been put on the field. I was like, I want this. I'm doing it. I want to win right now. And it's like I would have. Okay, well, but now I just got to sit here and just look at myself lose. Oh wow, that was such a good play. Good
That
heart
was
though to get the objection.
good play. I think coming in from the whole of Las Cruces to be able to win it 3-1. Shout
All
out to
close.
Regis Jesuit for being able to get to the grand finals, but just a little bit better control of the field,
Yeah,
of the board for the games that Las Cruces won is going to give them this regional championship win. Congratulations to them.
that's off.
Huge plays, nicely done. Before we go, I think this has been a week of finals action. Is that correct, Shredder?
Yes, it absolutely has. Well, yeah, there's definitely been finals just about every day, and they're all pretty close. They've all been pretty good series, all good sets, some really good stuff. So, yeah, I
Nice,
think 'cause, yeah,
nice.
Rocket League, Smash, yeah, Rocket League, Smash, and League happened just before this. Just all like
Mhm.
leading up to it from 3 to now. We've been just running games.
I love
Been
to
a
hear
good
that.
time.
It's been great for me to be here for 90-minute show. Got a full game of a full series of Hearthstone, which was really fun. I have been Moose. We've got Shredder. Shredder. Oh my God, what is your name? Shredder Shades.
Treasure
Pardon
Shades.
me,
Hey,
Shredder Shades.
I didn't bring him with me today, so that's a shame. But it'll
That's
be
a
fine.
shade. That's a shade.
All right. Hey,
Um,
can we cut the stream off?
All right, guys. Thank you guys all so much for watching. If you guys have not done so, please go ahead and drop a follow or subscribe on Play Versus. My name is Moose. On behalf of everybody here at Play Versus, Shredder, the casting desk, the production staff behind the scenes, thank you guys all so much for watching. We'll be back again tomorrow for more finals action. I believe Smash is going to be tomorrow. Going to be a ton of fun. Definitely watch that. And as always, stay safe. Have a great rest of your night. Take care.
Have a good night.